All right, Facebook peeps. Had to put this out there because there's a lot of people that have been very supportive of this ever since I announced it. And it really shocked me. And, it's a little emotional to talk about. But, it's funny too. But, a couple people I want to say thank you to. Charlie Carpenter, right off the bat, offered me to, he sent his number out there on Facebook, said, call me, any questions. Charlie, be careful putting your number out there. There's a lot of perverts. I should know this, just because I read about it. And then Buster, man, Buster sent me a Facebook message and said, call me immediately about your Appalachian Trail hike. And I did, and just shared some information with me that I didn't know, wasn't going to be able to find out. And, I haven't talked to him in over 10 years, and we talked over the phone yesterday like we were old friends, and that was important. Another person comes to mind is Doug Sims. When I was researching this trip, it was apparently people take a flask of whiskey with them on these trips. I did not know that, and so the only whiskey that I could think of was Maker's Mark, and that brought Doug Sims right back, to the forefront. So, but there's one problem with that. Adding the Maker's Mark put me a little overweight on the pack, so I just decided to ditch the water. I hope that's okay. It's 50-50. I think I'll make it. We'll see. If not, I'll be dehydrated very happily. And last but not least, Steve Hughes giving me the safety warning about not letting Bigfoot sneak up behind me. Well, I did take some preventative measures against that. I had 4 bean burritos last night. That's the best I could do. But one thing you're not considering, Steve, is that you're assuming it's going to be a male Bigfoot that stalks me. What about the possibility of a female Bigfoot? In that case, I have dabbed a little perfume, and we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. All right, babies. This is not where I'm staying, but this is Stover Creek Shelter. I'm about 4.75 miles in and looking for water. Love you. Miss you. Bye. All right, guys. I had to stop and take a break. Whew. The next place I'm going to is called Longview Falls. And it didn't set in until I started walking uphill, but you got to walk a long damn way to go see them. Well, that's Longview Falls. It's a little off the AT, but I mean, just a couple hundred yards. And I am going to take my second long break because after 7 miles, hang on, 7.1 so far, and I don't know what time it is, but there it is. And if you don't think I'm getting in that water, y'all are crazier than I am. Hey, babies. I'm at mile 8.77, and I keep having to take breaks about like every half mile, sometimes even more, whenever I see a log, something like that. Just sit down on it and rest my back. Pack's definitely too heavy, but for a man like me, it's a small burden. I'm just being facetious, obviously. Love y'all. Bye. Hey guys, got caught in the rain. I'm under my tarp right now, so I'm glad I brought it. My sleeping bag's getting heavy, a little wet. So this thing came in handy. It was taking forever to put that tent up, and it was ridiculous. So that's
That's all. No big deal. Alright folks, I'm currently under a tarp waiting for this torrential downpour to stop so I can get back out and set up camp somewhere. I'm close to 10 miles. I'm going to make it past 10 miles. That was my goal, but that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is to tell you exactly what happened the first 2 miles I'm walking. So, first video I posted was at Springer Mountain parking lot. You have to walk south 1 mile to the top of Springer Mountain, and then that's the end of the AT, or the beginning, depending on, it was the beginning for me. So then you turn around. Well, I hung out there for a minute, left, and there was a lady that had been there. There was a bunch of people there, but there was a lady that had been there, and she was walking ahead of me. Well, about halfway back, about a half mile, I noticed I was catching her, and I didn't know how that was possible because I'm carrying a pack and she's not carrying anything. Well, she kept stopping and looking up the mountain, right? And I'm hearing these guys yelling somewhere up the mountain, and they're I'm thinking bear, okay? I'm thinking they're yelling, hey bear, you know, get off the trail or whatever. I'm thinking, wow, this first 2 miles in, there's fucking bears everywhere. Anyway, so I keep catching up with her because she's stopping. Well, we get to the point where this one stretch, I'm gonna catch her, right? And you know, we make eye contact. I didn't want to be a creep, and so I was just, you know, trying to get by her. And I'm within 15 to 20 feet of her, and I'm still hearing these voices, these guys yelling. I'm like, fuck, there's a bear someplace. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I didn't even hardly hear the damn thing, a chocolate Labrador came running behind me out of the woods that I didn't see, and he brushed my leg. Well, I didn't have time to see that it was a chocolate Labrador, okay? I thought it was a bear. Well, this complete stranger, a woman, saw me shit myself on the Appalachian Trail within 2 miles of me starting. So all I could think to say was, thank God it wasn't a bear. That's it.
Well, here it is. This is Hawks Mountain. I've walked 11.04 miles, and it is getting close to 5 o'clock, so might as well stay here. Not real sure about the tent or whether I'm going to stay in there. We'll see. I know none of this is going out, but I'm trying. Bye. Well, this is it. In the cabin. So far, I'm the only one here. And it's they don't have a mattress, so I don't know who to complain to right now because there's no clerk. I'm working on finding out who's responsible for that because I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep that well. Now, I know I told y'all that I've never camped before, and if I didn't, I'm telling you now, okay? Somebody told me that Appalachian Trail, you're going to meet people, there's going to be a bunch of hippies, you know, be careful because there's loose women. Okay, 2 things, all right? Number 1, I haven't seen a single fucking hippie, all right? I know hippies inside and out, not one, okay? As far as loose women, there are no women, okay? So there's no danger here other than all that shit behind me. Now, I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't scared. Scared's a little strong. Probably I'm approaching this night with a little, I don't know, let's just say I'm going to over-medicate, okay? And there's a warning sign in here that says all food must be stored in these safety bins that are over there because of the increased bear activity. Now, Clyde Miller, you know how much I've been wanting to see a bear in Satsuma, Alabama. Drove around, put so many miles on those trucks just looking for bears. Not a single fucking bear, okay? Now, time out on that whole shit. Not interested, okay? Told you about the black, or the chocolate lab that just about got me. He had me, okay? All I'm saying is the sun's still up. I'm okay. But Doug Sims, that bottle of Maker's Mark, going down. All right, let me clarify something about that hippie remark. Know what I'm inside and out. You know what I mean? Basically outed myself, which is fine. That's what the whole trip's about. I come from a long line of successful hippies, okay? Back to my grandfather, as far back as I could tell, okay? He was a merchant marine. And the man, let me just say this, loved him like a father. Without him, no telling what would happen. But he worked his ass off, and he was a merchant marine, sailed all over the world. Had the greatest stories you'd ever want to hear, okay? Well, one of them was how he brought back some marijuana from Thailand, okay? And how he introduced it to my great aunt and my grandmother. Okay, now I don't know how many times they smoked it. In fact, I don't even know if it was Thailand because they can't get their fucking story straight. Nevertheless, could have been Egypt, actually, now that I remember one of the stories. Nevertheless, that generation got a hold of it. That was the greatest generation, right? The one that won World War II, worked sun up to sundown, suffered through the Great Depression, all that shit. Well, they get a hold of some of that marijuana, and all I'm saying is half of the next generation was a little fucked up. I'm not saying which half, and I think it maybe fluctuated a little bit. Might have been 75-25. I don't know. But the point is, prior to them, my Viking lineage, and I mean, I've done the ancestry DNA, so it's like 20%. So it's a good bit. And anyway, so from that point forward, all that shit got suppressed, okay? And we went down this hippie avenue, and I'm just saying, I know a hippie when I see one. In fact, there was a portion right after that chocolate lab nearly killed me that if I had seen a hippie, I'd have gotten in a van with him. So there aren't any here. All right, let me clarify some other things. Let me just add to the topic, I guess I should say, about this whole Viking thing, okay? I know you're everybody thinking 20%, that ain't nothing. You're talking 1,400 years here, okay? To still have a strong 20%, okay, 10 to 20%, whatever, and how it all got affected when my grandfather brought back that weed from Panama or wherever the fuck it was. When he was 6 years old, this man had his eye shot out with a boy, had his eye shot out with a slingshot. Was quoted in the Mobile Press Register as saying that he wanted to grow up to be a sailor. A fucking one-eyed 6-year-old boy wanting to be a sailor. If that's not a fucking Viking, I don't know what is. Both my uncles in the Navy, I was in the Navy. You can't keep us from the sea. That's just the way it is. Whew. Good morning, babies. The owner of this establishment is going to hear from me. Maybe, if I give a shit about it when I get out of here. That had to have been one of the top 2 worst night's sleep I ever had. I'm a princess when it comes to sleeping. I need a mattress. I need a soft mattress. I need a mattress that just sucks me in. Those 2x6s in there didn't even begin to meet my needs. And then it got cold a little bit. Not really, I'm just a wussy. I'm about to go down and get some water to replenish my water supply. I'm gonna make some oatmeal and start trekking again. At one point last night, it had to have been a dream. It woke me up at like 5:55. I thought it was
I thought it was a fucking shotgun that went right, it was right out behind the cabin. I mean, like 2 feet away from me, just bam. Kind of like in Mockingjay or whatever the name of that movie is. Those things. It scared me so bad at first. I mean, for about 5 seconds, I was like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Well, then I realized it had to have been a dream because, I mean, I didn't smell any gunpowder. I didn't smell anything else. But so apparently I did get some sleep, but it wasn't much. We'll see how that works out today. Love y'all. Okay, guys, I'm a mile and a half into today. It's been all uphill. I'm on my way to Cooper's Gap, and from there I don't know where. So again, today's goal is another 10, 11, 12 miles. My ultimate goal would be Tuesday or Neels Gap, whichever comes first, or whichever one of these pinky toes explodes. So, love you. Bye. Okay, this is my second stop on the way up to Cooper's Gap. Apparently, gap does not mean bottom, it means top. Okay? So, I don't know if you can see that, but all forested, but we're climbing. Whew. I'm definitely drinking enough water because like I said, I'm marking my trail about every half mile. So, I'm not worried about getting dehydrated right now. I am worried about these toes though. 15.89 miles for the total, which has been a lot of up today. Very steep. I'm almost out of water. I got probably half a liter left. No idea where I am. No idea exactly where I'm going. But seen a few people on the trail today. Pretty cordial. No hippies still. I finally made it to Cooper's Pass, or Cooper's Gap. Thought I was there like twice already. Grabbed a little snack, made some lemonade, and I'm at 16.65 miles so far, and it looks like it's gonna rain like it did yesterday. So, gotta go. Whew. Just took my first little bath, like a bird bath for real. I don't want to get my feet wet because my toes are about to pop, but I scrubbed myself down pretty good. Thunder in the background. There's camping all around here, but I'm still not at 20 miles yet. I'm at 18.9. I got to go to this next stop and see what's there. I got to figure out where civilization is because I don't know.
I have been under this tarp for 45 minutes. I'm about a half a mile away from the next thing. And I'm just trying to keep this pack from going from 35 pounds to 55 pounds because it's soaking wet with water. All right, and so you're thinking, nobody's here. Nobody's walking in the rain. It's a true story. I can't make this shit up. So I'm on a log. Kind of show you. Kind of sitting on a log, and I'm straddling the log. All right, my butt is to the trail. I'm right on the trail. I've been thinking I was hearing voices anyway. The whole time I've been telling you that. In the distance when it rains, at night, I don't know. Okay, maybe things carry around here. But for the first 20 minutes of it raining, I stuck my head out of the tarp and just let it get the sweat off of me. Well, I'm laying on top of my pack now, okay? Laying on it, trying to take a nap. Because I'm thinking, there's nobody here. I haven't seen anybody. And it's been raining like this for 45 minutes now. All of a sudden, hey, yeah, I don't know. It just happened again. There was a guy that time. But 10 minutes before this happened, there was a lady came by, scared the ever-loving shit out of me. Coming through, whatever she said. I was like, ah! That guy said it was a great idea. I don't know.
20.65 miles. I have no cell service, it's saying no service. And I see people on their phone all over the place. So I'm changing to Verizon when I get back. And I'm about to cross this river. Train really. And hopefully head to some place that's got some service and some directions.
Ooh, good morning, babies. Well, the night was a lot better than the night before. Still not as good as having a mattress. And I think if I go camping again next time, I'm gonna have to bring one with me. But it's a little earlier. You know, I got up yesterday. My final destination, Neels Gap and Comfort Inn. All right, babies, I'm about to break camp. 8 o'clock here. I'm gonna get busy. I got my toes wrapped up real good, and this last stretch is on. Hey babies, made it to Ramrock Mountain. Met my first hiking buddy, Vic from Tampa. Seems like a great guy. He's actually pushing me a little bit, so it's perfect. And found out it's a lot farther to Neels Gap than I thought, so gotta go. Bye. All right guys, I got 10.8 miles to go. I'm at Woody Gap on the way to Neels Gap. My main man, Vic, is kicking my ass. He is absolutely pacing me to death. But we've made a good time this morning, and we're out of here. Hey babies, we made it to the top of Preacher's Rock. Beautiful view, extremely tough climb. I'm out of water, and so I'm hoping there's some water on the trail, which is what my buddy Vic says coming up. So he's basically pulling a rope and pulling me uphill. So anyway, love you. Bye. All right, just stopped for a water break and lunch. My main man Vic back there has been leading the way, and he's hey, all right, and we're going to Neels Gap. I'm going to Neels Gap, and I think he's going too. So love y'all, and I will see you soon. Bye. All right, hey guys, I am about 31 miles into this thing according to my Fitbit, which is apparently a liar because this app called Gut Hook has something totally different. Anyway, still hanging with Vic. He's pushing me. Got to make it to the pass. Love you. Bye. Hey babies, I'm getting desperate. Down to my last pack of ramen noodles. I got these cranberries, ironically, last ones. Resorted to lemonade flavored dirty water. Some restaurant tonight is gonna make a shitload of money off me. All right, hey babes, this is it. Top of Blood Mountain, highest point in Georgia. We made it, and there's one reason why I made it today, and that's because the restaurants and hotels are on the other side. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. You see that behind me? That's the end of the trail, and I have not been this happy in a long time. My buddy Vic and I are probably gonna go to dinner. He's gonna give me a ride to the hotel, but that's it, Neels Gap. My Fitbit says 40 miles. I don't give a shit what the Appalachian Trail people say, whatever. Looks a little different, doesn't it? According to my Fitbit, I walked 40 miles in 3 days. However, the Appalachian Trail app called Gut Hook says it's a little over 30. So I've got a beef to pick with somebody. I'm just not sure how I'm gonna handle it yet. But I'm sticking to 40 because I may have meandered in and out of the trails here and there. Nevertheless, this is what just happened. So
Went to Longhorn Steakhouse. Half a loaf of bread, 10 wings, a salad, a loaded baked potato, and a 20-ounce porterhouse. So the reason I walked 16 miles today to finish it off and had to go above to the top of Blood Mountain, which is the tallest peak in Georgia. I did not know that until I was climbing the motherfucker. Okay, is because they didn't have restaurants on the side that I was on, and I was freaking hungry and out of food, and that's all I got. I made it. There's a bunch of funny stuff too that happened that I'll let y'all know about before it's all over with. But I just had cell service today, so thanks for the support. Love you. Night.
All right, Facebook peeps. I promise you this is the last one. This is a summation of everything, okay? I ended up having to stay another day because I can't walk. I just ended up trying to go across the street to find some aspirin. But fortunately for me, there was a Mexican restaurant closer that served really good margaritas. So I don't need the aspirin anymore. But I'm out of here tomorrow. I don't really know where I'm going to go tomorrow. I've got another trip planned in my head that I haven't announced, but I may go see some relatives. Nevertheless, the point of this video is to tell you how I messed this whole trip up, but got exactly what I went for, okay? So I did a lot of bad research. All I really did was look at some Google Maps, which didn't tell me anything about terrain and elevation as much as I could understand, at least, and then YouTube videos from young people who had gone from Maine to Georgia and Georgia to Maine, like all the way through, right? And we're happy about it. I mean, we're just giddy on these YouTube videos and very informative, but I didn't hear what they had to say. I just listened to how they said it, okay? One of them in particular was named Wanderlust, something or other, and just the name Wanderlust, to me, when I heard it and I saw this young lady talk about how much fun she had, conjured up the images of fairies and magic. I'm gonna tell you right now, there ain't no fucking fairies and magic in the mountains, okay? I went on this trip to punish myself, okay? And don't take that the wrong way, but I did, and I got exactly what I was looking for. I got more than what I was looking for, quite frankly. But that's just the way it goes, okay? Some of the equipment issues that I had, not issues, but my pack was way over heavy, and it was really a backpack that my son had as a bug out bag. It was not a backpack for hiking. The tent, literally this tent had been in our garage for 15 years or more, had never been opened because it still had the seal on the two zippers, right? I didn't open it until the day before I left to figure out how to put it together. And it served its purpose in the one night I stayed in it, but it was way too heavy, okay? I had way too much gear, all right? You know, I drank plenty of fluid, so that worked out great. But, you know, the difference in these young people talking about how much fun they had and how grueling I think it was, I mean, literally, like I said, I had to stay another day, is about 30 years, okay? If I was 20, maybe, you know, but when I was 20, I didn't have enough money to go do nothing for 6 months, okay? I had to, you know, do other stuff, but, you know, now it's a little different. I'm 50 and I feel like I'm 25 with money, but not quite. So, nevertheless, it was a phenomenal trip. I got everything I needed out of it. I got I won't say it was a reset, but I beat my brains in the whole time. I was scared at times because I thought I was lost, because they only have every so often, you know, there's intersecting trails, and they have white blazes. They call them blazes, but they're marked on the trees, and they're not every 10 feet. You know, they're like every half a mile or so. And there were literally times that I was desperate and thought I was off the trail, and I was getting low on water, and at the end of it, I started getting low on food, and I did not know. I did know, actually, that I was going to get over that last mountain, because I was fucking hungry. And there was no way I was staying in the woods one more night. I may have been later, but I was coming out. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. All right, I'm going to do it again. And in fact, I'm planning a trip in my head sometime in the fall before it gets too cold, and I'm going to leave from where I stopped this time, and I'm going to go another 3 days, and if I can go farther, I'll go farther. You know, I'll do some equipment changes and everything else like that, but it was great. And I want to thank everybody for reaching out and talking to me, and that I haven't talked to in a long time, for old friends that are now like new friends again, just because of this. And I love you all. Thank you so much. God bless.